Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to your August 2020 monthly forecast for all signs, actually. I don't know about you guys, but Mercury retrograde is doing a real number on me. So I'm doing this while Mercury is still retrograde. Ignore me if I repeat myself or something or other, okay? Just, I'll try to remember everything that I meant to say, okay? Anyway, and we had really like a 2 week stretch of 90-degree plus weather in my area, and it was really, really bad. Made me sick, like a bunch of other people, made me ill. So on top of that and other things mechanical happening, I'm only finally getting to you now. Sorry. But anyways, okay, so Mercury in Leo is still retrograde up until the 11th when it turns direct, but, you might have to give it a few days to kick in before you notice it. Some people, believe it or not, actually notice it right away, but it's usually because of something in their chart, their own personal chart that's affected by it, okay? So it turns direct on the 11th and is still in Leo till the end of the month. And Venus actually moves into Leo on the 25th, and the Sun is in Leo up until the 22nd, okay? And then Mars is still in Virgo up until the 6th, and then it moves into Libra for the rest of the month, okay? And the Sun moves into Virgo on the 23rd, and there is a new moon in Virgo. I'm sorry. The 22nd is when the Sun moves into Virgo, and the new moon is on the 23rd in Virgo. There's a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th, okay? And Uranus is in Gemini just temporarily, and Saturn and Neptune are retrograde and are in Aries temporarily, okay? These three planets will move into these signs next year. Okay, I believe the beginning of next year. So we're just getting a little bit of a preview right now. Okay, and Jupiter is in Cancer along with Venus. Venus is in Cancer up until the 25th. Okay, so you couldn't ask for like a better aspect to have Jupiter and Venus together, traveling together in one sign. Okay, very, very nice. And Pluto is in Aquarius, and it is also retrograde. So thank you very, very much to my subscribers for liking and commenting and sharing my videos and inquiring about me. I really, really appreciate everything that you guys do for me. Thank you very, very much. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. You will be notified each time I upload something. And there's links below in the description box. There is one to my website, but if you would like to know more about whatever, if I do this or that, what kind of chart, or just ask me anything, it's just easier to email me at zaneszodiac@gmail.com, okay? And don't forget to check out my weekly shorts, which are like the daily aspects, okay? But remember, there aren't aspects between the planets every single day, okay? So, now for your forecast. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your August forecast. So, you do have the planet Uranus in your sign. It won't fully move into your sign until next year. I'll be doing a video on it so you can learn a lot more. But for now, I just would like to say that it could possibly be affecting those of you born on like the first few days of Gemini, or if you have planets in like 0 to maybe 2 degrees. I believe that's all the higher the planet goes right now in this little preview. I'm pretty sure it moves next month. So, just kind of keep an eye out to see if you notice any kind of change. Okay, in your life. The planet Uranus rules many, many things, but it's mostly associated with unpredictability, surprises, and freedom. Freedom, breaking free. Okay, this planet, You know, you may not like it at first because you're not, it is that unpredictable because it gives you like sometimes a little bit of a sense of what's next, you know. But it will make you truly be yourself. Even you will not be able to handle not being yourself, your true self, okay? So if you were molded into some other person by your upbringing or your friends or whomever it is that just tries to, I don't know, manipulate you, rule your life, make you be something you're not, it won't it can't happen. It is like practically impossible to go through a Uranus transit without the change of just being yourself, whether or not it, even if it hurts, okay? Even if it hurts you or hurts other people, you know, you're just like, it's so refreshing is what I believe it is, you know, you guys just had Jupiter in your sign, so some opportunities, at least one, even if it's just a good person, has come into your life, okay? Now this is, you know, with the planet Uranus following, I would have to say this is the time to really like use everything that you learned during that Jupiter transit, all of the benefits you gained at that time, even if they're not physical and tangible that you can see, there's still something there that was very, very helpful. Okay, I'll get into it more when I do the video. But anyways, so it's August, okay, and the sun is in Leo up until the 22nd. Mercury is in Leo all month. It is retrograde at the beginning of the month up until the 11th when it turns direct. Excuse me. And this is occurring in your third house where you have the sign of Leo. Okay, you are the natural ruler of the third house. It is all forms of communication, including regular postal mail. It's local travel, like a day trip, overnight trip, or a weekend trip. Third house is your everyday life, the people and places you would encounter throughout the normal day, your neighbors, your neighborhood, your siblings, your cousins. It's the written word. It's a media house. It's an internet house, okay? So I'm having Mercury here, you know, and it doesn't matter what sign Mercury is in when it's retrograde. It will always affect you and Virgo more than any other sign because it's your ruling planet, okay? So you may have had a lot of mix-ups, you know. Right now I'm doing this while Mercury is retrograde. So, you know, please excuse me if I miss something or repeat myself or whatever, you know, mumble or, I don't know, lose my train of thought, which I tend to do sometimes anyway. So that could have easily happened to you. This, you know, communications in this house for you this month and last month, actually, when this turned retrograde, are very, very important, okay? You may not be getting your mail, even regular postal mail that you've been waiting on. You know, check with your neighbor. I'm sure you've already checked with the post office, but check with your neighbors to see if they have something of yours that they're even unaware of. It's not like they're holding on to it, but it could be something that you've really been looking for and can't figure out where it is. You know, you could have a lot more contact with people in your neighborhood, more than you normally would. There could be something actually going on there. You know, I do have to point out, let's see here. Mars was actually just here in Leo. Mars kept going back and forth between Cancer and Leo. So this house was already pretty active. With Mars, it was physical. You were probably moving around a lot, or a lot of local travel, usually by car, you know, not necessarily a day trip, but a drive, a car, like a road trip, okay? More than one possibly. And that kind of continues now. Even maybe you have been trying to get somewhere else other than where you've already been, but you just can't get to it for some reason or other. But now that Mercury's turning direct, now you have time for that trip that you really wanted to take. Maybe the previous ones were for work or something or other, you know, that because you had to do something. But with Mercury turning direct, you should have like smooth sailing, even though it's a day trip. Okay. Yeah, when Mercury here is here in retrograde, especially for you in Virgo, when your ships come in, you'll be at the airport to meet them. It's that kind of thing. And now that it's direct, all your communications will start to flow. You'll be getting information that you couldn't get before. Nobody was making sense when you would ask them questions, or you just could not get at the core of something that you needed to know. You were either not able to speak to the correct person that had that information, or whatever. Okay. But yeah, everything should really clear up for you. And now Venus moves in to this area on the 25th. Okay, but before that, I do have to mention this. Venus is in Cancer, in your second house of earned income and possessions. Okay, this is also the house of self-worth. Okay, your feelings of self-worth, and how you let people treat you, or how you teach them how to treat you. Okay, it's also your personal like values, and also your valuables. Okay, with Venus here, it attracts these very things, luxury items. But Jupiter is also here. Jupiter was just in your sign. When it leaves your sign, it goes to the next zodiac sign, which is Cancer, and it is in your second house of money. Okay, this is your earned income. This is basically your main money house. The 8th house, which is directly across from the second house, is another money house, but it's shared. It's other people's money and resources. It's also jointly held accounts and property and stuff like that with a partner. So second house, though, with these two planets moving together, Venus and Jupiter in a money house, I would have to say, I'm going to have to tell you to, I would play the lottery, okay? Especially because, and I'll get to this more in a minute, but especially because you will have Mars in Libra from the 6th till like the end of the month in your 5th house of gambling, okay? But I'll get to that, okay? But anyways, Jupiter in your second house does expand your money usually, but a lot of times just as soon as money comes in, it goes right back out again. It's almost like you can't really get ahead, but at least you're breaking even, and you're able to buy stuff or the things that you need, okay? But also with Jupiter here, sometimes it brings to the surface some kind of hidden talent that you have. And it could even be a hobby or something that you have that possibly you used to do when you were younger. Maybe you were one of those people in high school that silk screened t-shirts, or, did pottery, or, what was that, macrame in the 70s and stuff like that, like the hippies used to do. Whatever, stuff, just whatever. There's something that possibly you used to do in the past, and you were really good at it, and people complimented you on it all the time. You could have, back then even, turned it into some kind of business, but you didn't. You really have to think about this, like stop and think about it, okay? But I believe that is something that it will be coming to the surface again, and you may create a new stream of income from different from what you already have, okay? Especially with the planet Uranus being in your sign, there's all kinds of new stuff, ideas and whatever popping into your head, or I think it's really a good thing for this placement really at this time. You know what I mean? For that to bring this to the surface. Okay? So, don't be surprised if you receive a very belated birthday gift, or some kind of luxury item like a piece of jewelry, or cologne, or if an investment that you've made, you know, if you do have like collectibles, that, you know, the value of them goes up and down, it's probably a good idea to check to see whatever is going for, you know, right now. And also your investments can increase at this time, not to mention your possessions, right? You will have money to purchase stuff, okay? In fact, Mars was in Virgo all last month and is still in Virgo up until the 6th, in your 4th house where you have the sign of Virgo. Okay, 4th house is your home and family, but it's where you physically live. Okay, and the property surrounding it, your past, your childhood, your private life, and the foundation of how you were raised. So having Mars here, you were doing stuff with your home or wherever it is that you live. You know, Mars gives you a lot of energy. It makes you want to do stuff around your home. And we're talking about not big time remodeling, but enough to be really tired when you're done. Okay, we're not just hanging curtains and putting down new throw pillows. Okay, you're moving furniture, you're doing this and that. Okay, you're even laying your own carpet yourself. Something. Okay, so you know, with Venus and Jupiter both together in your 2nd house, you should have enough money to buy something that you've had your eye on for a while, and it could be a big time luxury item. You know, you could like spoil yourself, or it could be spoiling yourself, but it's a necessity. So that, you know, I mean, it's not like it's just going to sit there and not be used or just take up room. You just got done clearing everything, right? What the hell you want to do that for? Just buy more junk, right? So just think about it, you know, because the sun is moving into Virgo on the 22nd, and there's a new moon on the 23rd in Virgo in your 4th house. So it's a new beginning, something new. You're doing something new with your home, your location, you know, whatever. But I believe that you may purchase something, and it could be personal too, because your 4th house is also your personal life. So treat yourself, whatever. But yeah, around that new moon, I think that's when this is going to happen, that you're going to make some kind of change in your living area, quarters, or whatever you want to call it. And whatever, too. You could, you know, even just be with family at this time. It could be a little bit of a reunion, maybe, going on. I do have to mention that there is a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th in your 9th house. It's directly across from your 3rd house of Leo, okay? 9th house is long distance travel, whereas 3rd house is local, short distance. So 9th house is legal matters, higher learning, media and publishing, foreign travel, foreign countries, people, languages, many things. So around this full moon, you know, you could get some kind of long distance call or letter in the mail or something or other. You also have Pluto here in Aquarius. It'll be here for like 20 years. It's in retrograde motion right now, but a lot of things really are changing in your philosophy on life, your spiritual, religious beliefs, your opinions, your political opinions even, you know, all kinds of stuff is changing here right now, but this is also the house of adventure. Okay, but so, whatever. Something could be happening at a distance, that's all. The full moon brings a problem to the surface where it can be dealt with and then done away with it, right? So there could be something going on, again, at a distance that needs to be taken care of. Could be something that you do over the phone, or you could do like through the postal mail. You know, you may just have to send out, you know, whatever to somebody, but you'll be done with it after that. So you won't have to, it shouldn't bother you again, okay? Especially even if it's a legal matter, you know, take care of it. You got stuff to do. So Mars is in Libra. Okay, from the 6th on in your 5th house of fun. Fun, romance, creativity, gambling, speculation, any kind of entertainment or sport, and anything to do with children. And I do have to point this out, okay. Uranus in Gemini in your 1st house, Mars in Libra in your 5th house, and Pluto in Aquarius in your 9th house. And these all the air signs, you're all trining one another. It's almost like a grand trine, even though it's not like right. It's not exact right now anyway. So we've got the 1st house of self, 5th house of fun, and 9th house of long distance travel and adventure. So what do you think I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you to go take an adventure, have an adventure, carry, do the rest of whatever you were doing when Jupiter was in your sign last year. Maybe you got to go at least one place that you've always wanted to see, and maybe you'll go back there, or maybe it's a continuation of something you were learning. You know, whatever. But the Mars in the 5th house, I don't think anybody has to twist your arm to have fun. But that's what that's for, okay? Very energetic. This is a time when you really want to get out there and physically do things like dance or run or, you know, ride a bicycle or something, or, you know, whatever. It's just Mars is a very physical planet, and it energizes you physically to get out there and want to do stuff. You may even play some sports. You know, maybe you haven't done anything like that for a while. Or even if you just get out there and with a badminton racket, yeah, or whatever. Okay, something that you used to do after school. When you came home from school, that's what I used to do. I used to play badminton with my cousin. Anyway, this is also the house of romance, okay, and fun and creativity. So that could be something that you could mix that all together, even if you want to. If you are with someone romantically, or if you're married, this would be a time to really get out there and enjoy yourself. You may speculate or gamble, you know, maybe go to a casino or something. You could really have some good fortune in this area, just because, like what I said, with Jupiter and Venus together in your 2nd house of earned income, of money. I would play the lottery, at least a scratch-off ticket, if you can, you know, from the 6th on, if you can. If you do that normally anyway, well then, you know, you just know to pay attention to whatever comes up, numbers that come up, whatever, and what jackpots are what, you know, you always want to play like the largest jackpot, especially if you don't have really the money to be spending on gambling. So I don't encourage it, you know. I encourage you to play the lottery or gamble, but for like just a couple bucks, because believe me, you can win on just like $1 sometimes. You just have to know, have some kind of strategy. So just don't throw your money around, okay? Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Gemini on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign. And your opposite sign is Sagittarius, and those dates are the 1st, 2nd, 30th, and 31st. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. The best time for money is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for your career is the 10th and 11th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 8th, 9th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for August. Be sure to check out my weekly forecasts, which are now daily shorts. See ya.